Madonna of the Carnation is considered the earliest known work completed by Leonardo alone. In his early 20s, he is apparently influenced by the Flemish masters and by his own master, Andrea del Verrocchio. But his personal style has already been shaped, and it shows. One of Leonardo's trademarks is the attention to the detail of the landscape. Shown only in the background through the arched windows here, the countryside landscape, though playing a rather insignificant role to the storytelling of the painting, is far more elaborate and natural, and a lot less stylized and groomed than what Master Verrocchio used to paint. In the two parts of the background, Leonardo draws high mountain peaks with steep slopes far in the horizon. Tower-shaped rocks with vertical fractures and facets centered in the intermediate space, and a valley traversing the whole area from left to right at their foothills. Torrents come rumbling down the mountains into a more peaceful river along the valley, and gentler surfaces and slopes lay on the foreground area just outside the arched windows. A little earlier, from 1471 to 1475, Leonardo, as an apprentice, helped Master Verrocchio finish some details on clothing and background for the baptism of Christ. But unlike his master, who painted rather geometrical and groomed landscapes in the background, Leonardo, the apprentice, painted realistic landforms. 6 areas of the painting call to our particular attention and focus. First, the background on the left presents a U-shaped valley between gently sloping hills and steep mountain peaks. The valley is filled with a rich river flowing peacefully towards the foreground. Relic rock masses with tower-shaped rocks mark both sides far back, in the middle, and at the front. Some stratified rocks frame the left side of the scene on the foreground. On the right side of the foreground, Leonardo exhibits rock formations with explicit detailing. A present-day geologist would hardly reach this level of detail in sketching bedding, fracturing, alterations of strata, intercalations, even stylite-like lines. And then, Leonardo casually adds a small groundwater spring outlet, exactly where it should be geologically, water coming out from a widened discontinuity of the rock, and adding into the river, creating bubbles and foam. But Leonardo does not stop there. He depicts internal erosion in the bedrock, with widening of fractures by dissolution, oxide deposition, and round edges around the fractures. Then he depicts a stable bedrock on the stream where the main figures stand, with a transition from bedrock to soil and sediment beneath the feet of the angels on the left. Rounded pebbles of various sizes on the bank show different transport distances, while in situ platy pieces of bedrock slightly retain the stratogeometry over the intact bedrock. Finally, the connection of tectonic deformation and karstification is shown on the right frame of the painting. Behind the back of John, rock strata are dipping with a low angle towards the far right. Widened vertical fractures cross through the whole rock mass, and rock edges are weathered to rather round shape ends. The lower part of the rock mass shows no stratification, depicting a different rock type or a massive rather than plotty sedimentation. While the upper part resembles typical thin platy limestone, you might be looking at a phase change or an unconformity. Next, we will dive into the secrets of the 2 virgins of the rocks. Stay tuned.